For those of you that have your sheets in front of you, your practicum sheets, we're going to start on Secure Your Space again, which is on page 2. And I'm just going to jump right in since you already have a decent idea of what Secure Your Space is. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Laura come up with a mild disturbance from today. We're going to get ourselves a fractionated image, and then we're going to do some toggling back and forth and see what comes up for her. So, Laura, take a breath in, long exhale out. And then I would just like for you to just look around your environment and just engage in your space and tell me what makes it feel secure for you in this moment.
The crabapple tree outside my window, a crystal, and the boots I'm wearing.
Okay. And can you tell me a little bit about the colors that you're seeing when you look out your window?
Yeah, light yellow, light green, medium green, brown, and gray.
Nice. And what is your crystal doing for you?
It's vertical, and that's pleasing to my eye.
Nice, nice visual. Okay. And then your boots, what's going on? Are they warm? Are they cozy? Are they grounding you to the ground? What's coming up for you there?
They're warm, and I feel like I can feel that part of my body. So I know where my boundaries are because I can feel the warmth.
Nice. All right. Excellent. Okay. Wonderful. And if you were to give a feeling word, and if I were to have my polyvagal chart, I might show that to you. But is there a feeling word or two that you can pull up when you think about looking outside and seeing the colors and looking at your crabapple tree, knowing that your crystal is there, it's visually pleasing, and that your boots are keeping you grounded and creating a boundary for you around the warmth that they're creating? Is there a feeling word that's coming up, one or two of them?
Whole, like WHOLE, and confident.
Great. Wonderful. And then just as the EMDR therapist, I would have Laura focus on whole and confident. I would probably do 6 to 8 slow taps and have her repeat those words with me while she's in that secure moment with these things, which strengthens and enhances our positive neural networks. So now we're going to move to our CIPOS page, if you're following along with the script, which is constant installation of present orientation and safety. And I am going to move right to the script. Now, there's number 1 explains the rationale, and due to the time, I'm not going to read that out loud. But what I'm going to do is move into the directions for the client. And so we're going to toggle back and forth between the reality of the present moment that we have secured for ourselves and a snapshot of an event. So is there something that has kind of bothered you in the maybe today or this weekend?
Yes. I live here in Iowa, and I'm going on vacation with my daughter to Florida starting on Wednesday. I chose to drive instead of fly because I don't like flying, especially recently. And now there's a possible snowstorm forecast, and I'm experiencing some worry and distress about traveling for this trip.
Okay, and what's the worst part of what you just described for me?
That I made the wrong choice, and that something bad will happen on the trip, like a car accident due to the weather.
All right, and if you were to take a picture, a snapshot, let's say with your phone, of the worst moment, what would that snapshot look like?
Like my daughter looking at me and saying something like, we should have flown instead.
Okay, great. All right, awesome. Okay, so that is the agreed upon target that we're going to work with is of your daughter, and your daughter saying, we should have flown. So there's probably a look on her face that goes with that.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. All right. And to start, what we're going to do is we've got our snapshot of the worst part. And I'd like to toggle you from your secure space into your snapshot. And I'd like to start with 3 seconds. And then I'm going to check in with you, ask your permission if we could do it for 6 seconds, for 9 seconds. And does that sound okay for you?
Yes.
Okay. And our goal is to be able to create a repair for our autonomic nervous system and a repair for any aspect of you, parts of you that are concerned about doing this type of work. So if we could do the back of the head scale right now, thinking about our secure space, where would you say you are from here in the room with me to going into this visual representation that we've agreed upon? Okay, so you're in that. Excellent. Okay, so I'd like to ask permission from all parts of you to work on this agreed upon visual, which is your daughter making a comment about you needing to fly instead of drive. Are all aspects of you, all parts of you on board for this?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to start in our secured space. We're on number 3. Can you just once again anchor yourself to what we agreed upon? I want you to just feel the warmth in your boots and just feel how they're grounded on the floor and their containment for you, and just looking at your crystal and looking out your window at your crabapple tree. And what's coming up for you now?
With the boots especially, I was like immediately kind of zoomed back into the room. And the looking outside also was very helpful because I can see pretty far into the bluffs where I'm at. And that
Okay.
helped me feel yeah, like my head feels smaller now. I feel more appropriately sized and more present.
Excellent. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to slowly toggle you into the visual representation of what we talked about, which is just going to be that snapshot. Okay. So you can follow my fingers. I like to use my fingers as a way to just move you into it. So we're going slowly into that snapshot. Okay, and now I want you to count backwards with me from 3 to 0, holding that snapshot, counting now. 3,
3,
2,
2,
1, 0.
0.
Perfect. And now I want you to toggle yourself back into your secure space. And I just want you to move your feet and your boots, feeling that warmth and being grounded, knowing it's a boundary, looking outside, now being able to see the bluffs, seeing the crabapple tree, also acknowledging your crystal and what it represents for you. And then take a breath in, exhale out. And if you could just look around the room and tell me 3 things that you see that are blue.
My bulletin board, the schedule, and my highlighter.
Okay, great. And I just want to check in with you. What was that experience like for you?
Nothing else was happening except for that experience. And at the end, my daughter was laughing, and that was like a positive.
Okay. All right, great. So would you be willing for us to do it one more time just to check in and make sure that our visual representation is cleared out? Okay, great. Okay, so just wiggle your feet, feel your boots, looking out your windows for a second. All right, and now coming back and just following my fingers once again, and we're just going to move into what may potentially be left of our visual representation, what we had discussed. Moving slowly. And now I just like for you to count backwards out loud as fast as you can, 6 to 0 when you're ready.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Great. Tap your feet 3 times.
Okay.
Excellent. And now move us back slowly into our secure space. Once again, just honoring the feeling in our boots, grounding ourselves, knowing we have a boundary, looking at our crystal. looking outside, seeing the bluffs, seeing the crabapple tree. And just look around your room and tell me 3 things that you see that are red.
My coffee cup, my planner, and a book.
Great. And just one more thing, I'd like for us to just shake out some energy of our body. If you could just shake your wrists lightly. Nice. And then just roll those shoulders and stretch out that neck with a final breath in and long exhale out. And just tell me what you're noticing, what's coming up for you.
It's very quiet in my head. I have an urge to go outside, breathe fresh air, and
Nice.
yeah, in the end, it was the road was dry in the vision, the snapshot changed.
Nice. And that's what I was going to ask you next. That is, what was the experience like for you? And
Oh, okay.
how did the snapshot shift? And what did that do for your body?
Yeah, so I also realized, I guess I had a choice, like I kind of recreated some endings, there were some different endings created, like I was running away, I mean, probably with my kid, I wasn't stuck in a car. And also the road was dry. And I had a kind of a wise voice that just reminded me that adventure is risk.
Nice. Nice. Okay. So would you say overall that this was a good experience for you?
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And so let's do a timeout here. I just want to explain a couple things. First of all, as we calmed Laura's autonomic nervous system down, she was yellow when we started. She was able to access her prefrontal cortex, which gave her the information, the positive problem-solving data that she needed in order to think about what she could be doing instead of being stuck in that moment with her daughter, questioning her decision. Also, we only needed to do 3 to 6 seconds. And I do find with mild, we're working with something that's mild right now, that it can happen quickly, especially with the counting, which is the working memory. But if we were able to get up to 16 seconds on something that was still disturbing, that gives us permission to go in and do that bilateral, which is also exciting because that's something that I'm always asked by trainees and my consultees. When can I start bilateral with my dissociative clients? And so there you have it. That's CIPOS.